So good afternoon, dear colleagues. I would like to give you about 20 minutes of background of UBC and then myself, and then we dive into our first module, which is the paradigm shift with two activities, group activities. And then we will get maybe about 5 minutes break for the benefit of time. And then we go to the second module, which is the project/problem learning. And then there would be an hour and a half activity on that one. So please help me to have a very productive session. My name is Taheri. I'm a professor of teaching in the School of Engineering. I will go talk more later on. I'm from UBC. We call it a place of mind. There is a reason for it. We will discover that shortly. How many of you guys been in UBC? Anyone? Yes, bravo. Which campus? Vancouver campus. How many of you guys have heard about UBC? Come on. Hope many people, yeah. Oh, you never heard about it? That's okay. No love lost. Hopefully, yeah, you will hear that. UBC is one of the top universities in the world, top 30 universities in the world. 2 campuses. One is in Vancouver, one is in Okanagan. It's an old school. It's over 120 years old, 115 years old. One of the things that we are really proud of is the number of the projects annually we work on. It's about 8,000 projects, more or less. So this makes us extremely unique. This is the ranking of UBC, and I mean, this year is maybe 1 or 2 less. So rank between sometimes, 20, 30, 40, rank sometimes first in Canada, second in Canada. I don't care about ranking much. What I care mostly is this. UBC is number 1 in the world as far as the industry, innovation, and infrastructure. Number 3 in the world in the climate change. We are number 5th in sustainable cities, including Vancouver is one of the most sustainable cities. Marine biology, UBC global is number 5. Forestry included. Responsible consumption and production. Life on land. So these are what UBC is for. That's why we call it the place of mind. And one more thing that UBC is very distinct is the number of international students. It ranked number 1 in North America. There are over 200 top universities in North America. UBC is number 1. We have about 50 plus about 65,000 students, and 20,000 of them are international from 140 different countries. So that's quite a bit. So we are the host of brilliant minds from 4 corners of the world. We have 2 beautiful campuses, one in Vancouver. Gentlemen, you've been to Vancouver. And one is in Okanagan. Please come next time to Okanagan. Okanagan is called the Silicon Valley of the North. So it's the fastest growing city in North America. This video is the UBC Vancouver. Want to be in a group or no? It's good in group activities. It's up to you, buddy. But if you want to be really part of it, you have to be in a group activities. Well, the second campus in Okanagan, it's a place that I am. I travel almost most of my life. I've been in 7 different countries, lived there. And Kelowna is the city that I've been there for the longest period of time, since 2006. I really highly recommend you to come. These are not AI pictures, they are real pictures. The scenery is breathtaking, absolutely. We have 2 of the world-class ski resources. We have the best rock climbing trail, lots of water activities, sports. The deepest lake in the world is in Okanagan. We have the longest suspended bridge, 800 meters. I was telling that I brought 50 students from China in 2019 for a summer camp, and they all talk about this is the world class. I mean, we never have this experience, and we'll never forget it. If you like drinking, Okanagan is the center of the most exotic wine on the face of earth, including the ice wine. Definitely is worth it to come and perhaps taste wine day and night. It doesn't matter. But what I like most is the sunset. People come from all over the world, taking pictures, or to actually paint the sunsets. These are some other pictures, and this is the video about our campus. Life, many journeys start with one question, and the answer of that question defines where you ended in your life. This is our campus, a part of that. It's very fairly new. There are 2 projects going on for I think $400 million in our campus, 2 new buildings. Every year there are new buildings. It's growing. The world class, lecture halls, are really it's highest tech. Every building has a different character. They're not exactly like a cookie cutter. Each of them, they have their own character. There's not a single building that look the same. Restaurants, they've got 10 different kind of restaurants. Food, you won't never kind of short of that. Residences are truly like a 5-star, 4-star hotels. Students are really happy. We have the world-class sport facility. We believe that a beautiful mind stays in a beautiful body. Every year, this is like an Olympic-sized 5 courts, and then every year spend several $100,000 or $1 million to update their systems. But one thing I like, and I asked my colleagues the first time, is my first visit to your wonderful university, and she wanted to show me around. I asked her, show me the library. And I was impressed with the quality of your library. UBC has perhaps #1, at least in North America, as far as the library is concerned. There are over almost 8 million books, electronics, maps, all together. And these are 24 hours access. There's nothing closed, it's always going around the clock. This is including 3.6 million ebooks and 500,000 journals. So this is what we are. I am from a School of Engineering. The School of Engineering, it is in Okanagan, but is actually governed by Vancouver campus because we are under the same Faculty of Applied Science, and we have the same dean, one dean. Anything else in our campus belongs to Okanagan, but we are having happy coexistence. School started a year before I joined in 2005. We truly believe in project-based learning in our school. We believe students learn by doing, not by watching. And we have crystallized this philosophy, and we have such a great result. We have 2 common years, so first and second year, and then they go students to the co-op, 6, 8 months, they come back and they decide what discipline they want to be, mech, electrical, manufacturing / industrial engineering and computer science. Soon you will have another major, which is a bioengineering. We have over 2,000 students in our school, grad and undergrad, and we have over 200 faculties. It's pretty small compared with many big universities, but we are, again, a part of applied science.
We are living in a time where the problems are very complicated. And what we see when we try to solve the problems, we see from our disciplinary lens. This is the kind of culture we have created through our engineering education, as well as the way we are structured in our school. We don't have departments, we have programs, and professors interact with each other depending on that kind of a problem they are asked to solve.
Manufacturing engineering is a combination of different technologies and sciences. We need to train our students about basic mechanical systems, electrical systems, software programming and software engineering, so that they can use their existing technologies to serve the manufacturing sector better.
Civil engineering is the discipline that creates harmony among people, nature, and technology.
Electrical engineering is concerned with the design and creation of any electrical system.
Mechanical engineering is a branch of engineering which deals with design and manufacturing things, starting from simple single part to rather complex and intricate mechanisms and devices.
The first 2 years are designed in a way where students have an opportunity to interact with various disciplines. We take a lot of pride the way we offer our program, which is a design focus, problem-based learning, and project-based learning.
In the second year, we have another big design which is very mechanical engineering oriented, and that is our hovercraft competition. Students from different disciplines, mechanical, electrical, civil, they get together, they design a hovercraft, and then they compete. And finally, in our last year, we have industry-based capstone project in which the companies who have problems, real issues, they come to our school, and our mechanical engineering student with other disciplines, like electrical and civil, they get together and they design something.
The School of Engineering has a UBC brand, and we are in the small place where students have an opportunity to interact very closely with the professors and with the smaller class sizes. We have gathered high-quality researchers and professors, which ensure that the quality of education and the quality of training provided to the student is a world class. We are UBC in a small frame. This is the kind of an opportunity, I think, for undergrad students is extremely important to have a more opportunity to interact with their professors and getting the high-quality education.
The gentleman named Rehan Sadiq, and actually this is about 3 years old now. He's the provost on our campus. Very good friend of mine, by the way. So a little bit of statistics I'm going to show you. In our co-op program, almost our students, 90-some%, they get a job. And that's a very good statistics. Many of them stay in lower mainland, Vancouver and other places. Some of them, they travel a little bit further. We have a very good retention as far as that goes. And again, if you as a faculty are interested in any of these areas, these are the strategic areas. Mine relies in these ones here. So I'm a professor of teaching, educational leadership, and I do active research in bioengineering, wearable device, smart material, and so on. I can leave this one for about maybe another 30 seconds if you're interested. One of the reasons I'm here is because I want to connect you with your counterpart in our university. Sometimes it takes only one email or one connection, and then you can take it in a very organic way. I would be more than happy to be conduit, and I would take the lead of doing as an ambassador. So let's talk about a little bit about myself. So I joined UBC 2006, just about one of the earliest hiring. I'm a professor of teaching. I taught over 100 courses, not only in North America, but in Europe and in Far East, 20 different subjects. My area of expertise is material science. I do also design thinking, manufacturing, and first and fourth year design. I taught over 22,000 students, and the number, I say that because every year we have to submit our activity reports, annual activity reports, and mine was 21,891 based on the statistics. One of my passion is, of course, teach, but also I like to not teach, but share my experience with my dear colleagues, such as you. I mean, teaching is a very personal. It depends on who you are, your character, your culture, what you teach, and I often learn more from my, attendees than giving them. So I'm here to share my experience. I would love to hear your story, and then we can make it a more meaningful workshop. I've offered over 100. Like this particular trip I'm here, this is my first stop. I arrived yesterday morning at about 6 o'clock. I go tomorrow to Hong Kong, 2 workshops, and then I will go to China, 6 universities, and then I go to Macau, 2 universities. I go back to Chang'an and Shandong University in Jinan. So I do this. I love it. I meet people, and this is my passion, what I have for life. That's why I haven't slept maybe 6 hours for the last 3 days. I love what I do, and I think you are the food for my thought, Again, design thinking, sustainable engineering design, advanced material, wearable device, corrosion, bioengineering. These are my kind of bread and butter. I'm not bragging, but I've got lots of awards. I don't think you are interested. I got the Best Teacher Award for the entire university in 2015. But I'm also very proud that I'm the founder of Makerspace.
Makerspace, people like you will make it Makerspace. Art students, management, education. The beauty of this place is people with different expertise that come to share their knowledge. No matter what area you are, you have to develop that problem-solving skills. And this is what we actually foster and we promote.
So this is 2017. I have to have a qualifier. It was my dear colleague Susan Creighton from Stanford and we found the Makerspace, and now this is one of the most iconic place for interdisciplinary collaboration. Pedagogy, it's my way of living. I love teaching, and I think God has put me in a position that I enjoy every day of what I do. Doesn't pay much, but that's okay. So,
design is a process of problem solving, and we like to promote the attitude of problem solving among our engineering students. They learn lots of theoretic, but the engineering is the application of science, and unless they put these science and technologies into the work, there is no meaning behind it. This year, our first design project revolved around redesigning closing donation bins. We asked students to
take on this challenging task and come up with new and innovative design in order to stop people getting hurt by these bins.
Coming from no background in any kind of design or anything like that, coming into a program that is very heavy in designing and drawing and solving problems that are facing the world right now in our communities, it was really interesting to dive into problems and use what we've learned in class and to apply it to our actual project.
For my group, when we were first brainstorming, we had a whiteboard and a marker and we said, okay, anything's possible, let's just get all of our ideas out, and then from like this huge list of ideas, we'll pick out different parts that work well together. We had some really crazy like abstract ideas that were like terribly technologically advanced, and then we also had some ideas that were just impractical, but from this crazy list of ideas we had, we were able to pull out something that's hopefully going to work.
Being a first-year engineering student, it's really interesting that we get to go out and solve things that are affecting people's lives right now.
Every group that are working on this project has taken this project very seriously. They know the result of their work will be directly impact community. I am very hopeful and positive that perhaps one of the groups or a combination of few groups can come with a very innovative design that would actually revolutionize the existing several hundred donation bins all over Canada. I'll give you a little background on this project. This is the first year design. It was about 5 years ago or 6 years ago. I'm sure that you're aware that recycling clothing is the worst thing, because in these clothes you have fabric, you have metal, you have plastic, you have synthetic, non-synthetic, and so on. A better way is you donate it. You don't use it, you put it in a box, donate it, and then someone will come, collect it, clean it, and resell it. Very good theoretically, but unfortunately some of these boxes, they design in a way that if someone try, maybe homeless person, maybe cold, maybe whatever, try to retrieve them, they get caught. And believe it or not, 15 people have been hurt seriously. I think about 10 of them died. They got caught in this death traps. Some in the US, some in Canada. There was one case actually in California, the lady actually dropped her cell phone and tried to retrieve it. So it somehow is shut, and then she's in a kind of upside down position, so lots of compression on her chest. She ran out of the breath, and in 3 minutes she died. So I took this project and I gave it to my students, first year. Everyone said, you're crazy, it's a first year, first term, first year, know nothing about design. So through the course of 39 hours of lecture or 13 weeks, they generated an amazing result. I'm not going to take too much of your time, but they made the history. So they were all over the news in North America, CBC, NBC, global news. They created an amazing result, and many of them actually, they got a job later on, they all graduated. So it is possible, and again, I have another example that I taught similar course in China when we go to the next module. It doesn't matter, students from China, Japan, Canada, if you treat them, give them the space and give them the voice and choice to generate amazing result. So that was very interesting. I just want to tell you that this is it's some of the things I love to do. This was another project that I'm going to show, and that's the last thing for this introduction I will show you. This was during the COVID. They asked us, oh, shut down everything. I said, I'm not going to shut down nothing. So we're going to go business as usual. We have this distance, and we have all the required precaution. But I'm going to continue, and this is what the result was. After 171, CAD Camp is offered to first-year, first-term students. Students with basically no or very little knowledge in design thinking, and through the course of 13 weeks, we make them familiar with the important aspects of a design cycle.
Being able to come into first-year engineering and immediately be able to take your ideas and your imagination, bring it into reality is really cool. It really opens your eyes to what you're going to be able to do with the rest of your degree.
This course is important because we ask the students to tackle impactful projects driven from community. This year we have two interesting topics. One was
the wildfires, and the other theme was COVID-19.
Our project is a vaccine card scanner designed to be the entry of retail spaces and restaurants. The vaccine card scanner will identify someone who's vaccinated and allow entry to place of business, and those who are not vaccinated obviously won't let you in.
The project we're working on is a mobile briefcase of sorts that will be able to carry 4 fire hoses.
Every year, students, they come up with amazing ideas.
It's a bit overwhelming in first year to already do something so important.
And I think that experience in first year, being handed the tools and how to use them in your first semester, really means that the rest of your degree is endless possibilities, really.
I will talk about this later on more when it comes to project-based learning. So I stop it here and I right away dive into our first module, which is paradigm shift. So you already know me, my name, and I'm from the School of Engineering. By the way, I forgot to tell you Happy New Year. So still it's not too late to celebrate wonderful lunar year. And let me just go here and open it completely. Okay. So the School of Engineering is my home. We talk about paradigm shift. I'm a little confused. What does paradigm shift mean? Can anyone tell me what is a paradigm shift? They use this word, so it's like a kind of like a become a trend word, paradigm shift. Can someone define a true meaning of a paradigm shift? And why we call it there's a paradigm shift in education? Anyone? By the way, I offer chocolates for those who answer questions. What do you think? Paradigm shift.
I think paradigm
Bruce.
means that we think there's a right way to do something.
Not necessarily. Paradigm shift could be in a wrong way.
I mean, the paradigm.
Paradigm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for example, we think education should be a classroom with many seats. And the teacher are teaching, students are listening.
Okay.
It might come from where German does in the 19th century.
19th century.
That might not be the best way to do education.
Okay. Bruce, that was close enough answer. Yes, please, sir, go ahead, please.
Paradigm shift is online teaching.
Online teaching? Okay, but let's just talk about paradigm itself. Okay, you go to the dictionary, they talk about paradigm. Is this fundamental change in approach or underlying assumptions? Okay, I'm using a software called Prezi, and you're using PowerPoint. That's not paradigm shift. It's just nothing. This is zero. This is just a matter of choice. You do online, I do offline. That still is not paradigm shift. Paradigm shift is fundamental changes. You know what is paradigm shift? Paradigm shift means that all these lights bulbs are off. This light bulb comes and turns all of them on. Or even worse, it breaks them on. Paradigm shift means before and after. I tell you some paradigm shift in the history of human. Invention of writing was paradigm shift. Industrial revolution was paradigm shift. Invention of computer was a paradigm shift. Two more. No. Not quite. But something before cell phones.
Electricity?
No, electricity. Wow. You could, but major one, internet was a paradigm shift, absolutely. 1994, 1995. And then, of course, with the internet become mobile devices. AI will be a paradigm shift. So now, I'm here to tell you about the educational, shift in education. This goldfish, name is Jerry. We talk about Jerry later on. Jerry will never come back to a smaller fishbowl. Jerry will go to the next. Often in a paradigm shift, because you're changed, you will not accept, even bad or good. So when paradigm shift happens, you need to know about three things. Any paradigm shift. You have to acknowledge it's happening. Today you are here to acknowledge that AI will change everyone's life. If you don't agree, you're wrong business. It doesn't matter what business you have. Number two, you have to understand it. You have to embrace it. And number three, if you really are keen, you can lead it. You can be a part of it. I'll give you an example. So, I don't know, you have a subway system, right? In here, I heard about, you have a subway metro in Taiwan, Taipei, yes, no? Underground subway, yeah, you have. So when you go, the subway comes, the first cart is the engine cart, the driver. You come and you try to get to one of the carts. The front is better. You are a little late, you get the last one. But some people, they say, well, you know what? I'm going to get the next one. There is no next one. So you need to absolutely understand and embrace and then facilitate that. So when a paradigm shift happens, you have to ask these three fundamental questions. What happens? How happens? But the most important is, say again, why it happens. If you don't know why, you don't know how, you don't know how, you don't know what. So why is happening? So I have some pictures I want to show you and help me to understand. This was a university classroom about 200 years ago. This was about 100 years ago, mid-50s. This was in 80s, 2000, and here is today. Let me put side by side. These are 5 pictures. Can you tell me what difference or what differences you see in these pictures? What has changed? Can you tell me?
There are more students.
I like that. I need to give you a chocolate. You said maybe more than one. Look at it. Oh, that's okay. Say, okay, more students, but of course, the population of human race grows. What do you say, sir? Sorry?
Resolution.
Second?
Resolution. The picture.
Yes. That's one. What else? What else do you see different? Tell me.
Students use laptop.
Technology. Bravo. Yeah? Well, I don't see any laptop on this one, but here. What else? Let me tell you the answer. There is nothing changed for last 800 years. Absolutely nothing. You know why? Aside from the number of students and technology and everything else, the very institution of universities are I come to the class, I tell who I am, I tell you what you have to learn, how I want you to learn, I tell you how I will assist you, and I tell you if you fail, you have to go back to grade 1. Take the course again. This has been one-way avenue, my way or highway. And that is a problem. Not because it's wrong or right, but because our student has significantly evolved. This was 50 years ago, how they entertain in their leisure time. This was how they used to study. Coffee, books. This is how the leisure time today, all tech. This is how they study. And I am dealing with this guy using the same method my grandma used when she was teaching. That's why it's not working. It's not only international or domestic or university students. Here is the oldest picture I could find as a kindergarten. It's about 110 years or something years in China. That was a kindergarten in China. Today, looks like this. Do you see some differences? That's why these kids are going to grow and they're going to come to high school and university, and I'm using the same methodology that 100 years ago was used. And that is wrong, and the result is drastically negative. So have we changed as well as educators? Unfortunately, many of us not. There are some reasons. We'll go discover those reasons. Well, let's talk about a little statistics. A student, they have choice. You graduate from high school, you do one of these 5 things. You go to 4 years program, 63% they do this. You go to 2-year program, assistant, certificate program. You can even do 6 months. You go to work. By the way, these days the students with the Bachelor of Science degree have a hard time to get a job. If you have a high school diploma, most probably you just have to be in Uber or something. Like you have no future. And in some countries you go to military. So these are the choice. We are, as educators, are interested in the first one. But 63% will do the first one. Okay? Remember about that question I asked, why the paradigm shift is happening? And I want to answer that why. I want to switch that why to another why. And those who've been here in the morning can know that. The question is, why on the earth 63% coming to university anyway? Why they come to university? Now, for some people that are new, why students come to university? Are you students or you are? Why you come to university? What is your intention? What is your goal? Why you came?
To learn new things.
To learn new things. Good. How about you, sir?
To find a better job.
Can you say louder a little bit?
To find a better job.
He wants to find a better job. Do you like chocolate? Well, his answer is correct, but when you get that, you are ahead of a game. He wants to get a better job. Learning is good. Is learning good or bad? Learning is good? We don't know yet. We talk about that. So, but truly, there was a research done in UK among, I think, about 30,000 college students. Asked them why you are in college. And you have to go with the statistics. So there are some answers, and I go one by one. First answer was, I love studying. I love Dr. Taheri comes 8 o'clock morning, sometimes grumpy, surprise quizzes, very hard projects, difficult midterms, even worse final. I love it, love it, love it, love it. Well, that was not a very high percentage. Less than 1% said, I love study. And by the way, I want to kind of elaborate on that. I know that you perhaps heard about Natalie Portman. Natalie Portman was the Oscar winner, is a very talented actress, 2014 Black Swan. She said, I don't love studying, I hate studying. I like learning. Learning is beautiful. Wow, it's kind of confusing. Learning, studying are the same, right? Is it learning and studying the same? You need to study to learn, right? Is that learning and studying the same? Correct me. Why not? Tell me, please.
No, like studying is the one that you learn by others.
By others?
I mean.
Okay. What else? Stephanie, you have an answer, please? You cheat. Yeah, tell me. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Okay.
Studying and learning.
Well, studying is sort of like training. You don't really need a brain to do it.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, but learning is like engaging in the content, sort of. Like
Okay. What else? A couple of professors. Please tell me.
Well, studying is like, what you're given, right? And learning is more like active.
Okay. All correct, but let me tell you. First of all, every time you study, you don't learn. There could be lots of study with zero learning. I can get the phone book and I study phone numbers, memorize them. What do I learn? Nothing. I can do a little study and lots of learning if I am a smart learner. So these are not linear relationships. But of course, you need to do some study for learn something, formal or informal, number one. But also, I'll give another example. How many of you guys learn how to drive by studying? None. Nobody reads a book. I mean, you do the book for passing the knowledge test, but the actual learning of how to drive is experimental, is a human involved. You use your knowledge, experience, all together you become a better driver. But still I have a problem. What is the point of learning how to drive when I live in a place that there is no road? What is the point of learning how to swim when I live in Sahara? So bear in mind, the very important part is this. First one is studying, training. It could be bad, could be wasting of your time. But you learn something. Is it good? You say you want to learn. Not every learning is good. Learning is only good when it improves your performance. You become a better person. If I learn how to drive, I can go to see my grandma in a far village. I connect with her, and I get a better person. So again, you have to understand, when we teach our students, you have to think about, yes, well, they have to train, but for what purpose? To learn. But why they learn? And mostly, when they learn, you want to have it as a permanent knowledge. Then they need to apply it to be a part of their permanent knowledge, to be able to use it later. So that was first answer. Well, some people say, I don't know why I'm here, but look at other people are here. My cousin Jane was here. My older brother is here. So I just follow the crowd. I come to college because everyone else said you have to come. I mean, not a bad answer, because sometimes when you are totally lost, you better follow the crowd. Statistically, maybe you are on the right track. But that's not a good reason. I love this one, especially in Asia. The parents are so giving. They live their life through their kids. And kids say, I come because my mom wants to be here. My dad wants to be an engineer like himself. Well, I respect that, and you have to always respect your elder. But the argument is, your parents, if you are parents, you lived your life. You have to give the choice and voice to your kids. They live their lives. So it's not a good reason if the students are not, their heart is to studying, become a doctor, to become a doctor. Nothing is worse than to be a doctor and make $1 million, to be very unhappy, and then be a very happy carpenter. So the happiness is a very important part of life. So next is the life experience. The students say that, well, I like life experience. It's cool. I love it. You chill. You have fun. Well, I mean, definitely there is a life journey experience when you are students at the university level. But if you're only having fun, you're spending lots of money. You better go to maybe Macau, gamble or whatever, you have a better chance. Don't waste 5 years of your life to have fun. 89% of students said, we are here to get a job. You are right. To get a job and make a living. I tell my students, change your vocabulary, change your life. I forbid them to say this, get a job and make a living. I tell them, you must build a lifetime career. You must design a life. And for that, you need education. It's not the only thing you need, but you do need education. So that is number one reason. Here is UBC last year, about 12,000 graduate. This is a NPU university. That's about same. All of them get a job. All of them will get a job. Well, we don't know yet. Well, let me tell you some disturbing statistics. Well, 63% of that young high school, they come to university. 50% of them are underemployed. What does underemployed mean? Can someone from not morning session tell me, what does underemployed mean? Anyone? What is underemployed? Underemployed. Not unemployed, underemployed.
Overqualified for the jobs.
Bravo. Overqualified. I have a master's degree. I work as a technician. That's not good. That's very bad. 43% of the college graduate, they are underemployed in the first job. Why? Why someone is underemployed? Can you tell me? Elon Musk's story, remember that? Why I am with a master's degree underemployed. I'm a good person. But what my boss cares, runs a multi-million-dollar company. What does he or she cares? Money. I'm sorry, that's the way it is. They're not in a charity. I'm underemployed because I cannot generate enough profit with the level of my knowledge. Why? Because I am not experienced / knowledgeable. My boss will tell me, hey, Ray, sorry, you got a master's degree. I don't think you can work as a master here. You work as a technician with a half salary, get experience. In 5 years, I'll give you whatever you deserve. But why? Because we don't train them in university. We should have trained them, made them ready for getting a job. But we don't. We breach the contract. The contract, which was not written ever, was you come to university, you take 160 credits, and then you get a degree, you get a job. But unfortunately, we did not hold the side of our contract. So we talk about that. And then again, the highest employment rate is about graduate. Hey, I don't want to work as a technician. Okay, sorry, Ray, you don't get a job. 2 years later, I have no job, and I end up to be unemployed, perhaps permanently. So these are the sad news that we have. They're all statistics. So, you got to graduate, good for you, but not everyone get a job. Many of them are, especially in this market, they are without the job. And I have a bad news, there are going to be more of them because they will be replaced by AI. So what else? What should we do? Some of them, they come to graduate studies. In fact, there is an alarming increase rate in the enrollment in graduate programs all over the world, but not because they love study. Many of them they do, but some didn't get a job. And I always tell that if someone send me an email or Dr. Taheri, can you give me a reference 6 months before graduating, I say good for you. But if it's 3 years after graduation and still wants to go back to school, there is a problem. He or she didn't get a good job, and now going to come back to the same cage. So I want to test your how much pay attention. 2 graduate students from UBC, from the same program, Ray and Roy. Both of them are pretty good students. Ray has a GPA of 86%. Roy is the top of his class, 93. Which one you will be hiring? Which one has a better chance to get a job? Be honest, how you feel? Yes? 93. Is that correct? Well, not yet. First, you have to say, well, let me look at your transcript. Here is the transcript. Tell me now, can you see it? Yeah, more or less. Which one will you hire? If you've been in morning session, you know the story already. But which one will you hire now? Still 93? Can you see that? Yet, no. The courses, static, dynamics, calculus, engineering, one design, thermodynamics, technical communication, so on. There are courses here. There is something very finicky about these 2 students, 2 graduates. Okay. Mohsen, what do you mean by technical communications?
The
rates are different for those people?
Okay, well, Ray is a very good communicator. That's good. That's one thing. Do you want a good communicator in company or no?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I will get back to this in about a minute or 5 minutes. Let me play a role play, a game. Imagine that we are not educators here. We are working for a world-class car manufacturing, call it Mercedes, Tesla, whatever. Okay? So this is our job, and they ask us to design the best car in the world. You geniuses are here. We want to give you unlimited budget, 1 year. Make the best car. How do we do? Do we lock the door and get our brain together and a year later, here, the best car, everyone should buy this car? Is it the attitude we do? What is our attitude? What do you do, Mohsen?
Working as a team.
Oh, of course, as a team, we all lock the door. Yeah. But what do we do? Truly, anyone in manufacturing?
We assign the person with the good quality in one skill.
Yeah. But what do we, okay, what else? Okay, I get your point. Okay, the first thing we should do the Mercedes car designers, they make the car for themselves? They make for 8 billion people. The first thing we should do is you go to the consumer report. What do they need? Am I right? You don't design a car for yours. Yes, you have to assign team, but what do you need? I mean, truly, you have to assess what are the requirements for a car from not your point of view, from the user point of view. You're not getting too far. I'm going to come back to the education. But you know, what is that? By the way, for the car, is it the fuel economy, number one? What about technology is number one? How about luxury? Is it number one? What is number one factor for last 100 years when you design a car? Bravo. Safety. It doesn't matter how many liters I save when I arrive dead.
Profit.
Profit of who? No, not for you. No. For you as a buyer is safety. When I put my kids in a car, I don't care about how advanced I can talk. Alexia, I want that if someone hit my car, I won't be sardine can. Okay? So truly, crash avoidance and safety. I want a car like this, not a car like this. Truly, that's what I need. But you might say, hey, Ray, what are you talking here? You're comparing human with a car. We are not car manufacturers. We are professors. We are students. Oh, there are lots of similarities between car manufacturer and our business. I'm sorry, I bring you something to you. I often have some kind of eyebrows when I say that. We are salesmen. I am a salesman. You are a salesman. You know what do we sell? Knowledge. We sell skills. We sell integrity. We sell information. We do sell it. You come for free? No, you pay. You pay to come to this institute to learn. We provide you. So there are lots of similarities. Hey, look at that. Young, brilliant mind coming to this factory called university. Small parts coming to the factory. What happens? In the factory, they get assembled, they get skills, they get connected, they come to a lecture. This one takes about maybe 1 day, that takes about 5 years. They gain skills. And then, ready to sell, being graduated. The one in my left is easy. You sell a car. There we go. This one need to get a job. You will come to university because he said that, and you are agreed. We come because we want to build a future. We want to be an important person in our community, country, globally. I want to make my parents and my children to be honored and proud. I want to work in Alibaba, Apple, Amazon, Tencent, Tesla, Huawei. These are my final destination. This is my goal. I was that raw material, like those pieces of bolts and gears. Now I am a fully car. I want to sell myself. Well, I want to show you this time machine. If you have seen, please forgive me again. So I invented this. It's very interesting. I know not all of you are in engineering, but let's just put our engineering hat on. In 800s, it was an era of tools. Anyone remembers this? Some older people like my age? This used to call a slide ruler, a device you use to do advanced calculation, logarithm, tangent, cotangent. If 200 years ago you knew how to use it, was invented by a brilliant British 1689 inventor, scientist, mathematician. If you knew how to use this 200 years ago, you would have get a job as an engineer in a very basic level. Because top engineers, they don't have time, you walk with them and you do math calculation for them. You would have got a job only to use this machine. But of course, soon later, calculator came. Who needs that machine? Who's going to give you a job when I buy a calculator for $50? That was past. History, extinct. In 50s, it was a knowledge-based. So if you're a very knowledgeable person, you know a lot. You know, if someone has a question, you go to you. You would have got a job. If you were a walking encyclopedia, you know, what is the modular elasticity of iron, 2.5 gigapascal. So you will get a job. But today, people using Google, Baidu, who's going to give you a job for knowing these? Nobody going to give you a job because I can Google it. So knowledge alone is not the factor to get a job. In 70s was the time of advanced theoretic concept. If you are really good in all these, you know, they would get a job. You know, you can design buildings and here and there, or we can design, like, you know, how much load this column should have. You get a job. Oh my God, today, if you have computers that are hundreds of millions of billions of trillion times faster than human, who's going to give me a job for doing some basic math or advanced math? Later on, it was the era of computation. Ooh, now we talk of computation. When I was graduating from university, if you know how to use AutoCAD, holy moly, you get a job. Don't ask you, just do AutoCAD, come here. Just by using a software, you know how to use the software, you would have get a job. Today, kids are better than adults in the same software. In fact, I'm not ashamed of saying that. Many of my students, I teach SolidWorks. Many of my students, they become better than me when they graduate. Hey, I'm a coach. I don't need to run too fast. I teach them how to run. They run. And they run every day. So that's not the one. So you might say, wait a minute, I'm so confused. It's not about the tools. It's not about the knowledge. It's not about the theoretic concept. It's not about even software. What is it today I get a job? What do the CEOs of company need from me? What is that magic ingredients? Yes, you need to have a degree. You need to have a knowledge. But is it the only thing that you need? What else do I need? What else? What else do you need? Aside from whatever you learn formally, there is something else. Well, that's the key ingredients. Today, you get a job because of your problem-solving skills. Today, you get a job because of your personal cognitive understanding. Today, you get a job because that problem solving, as well as your soft skills. What are those soft skills? Communication, critical thinking, creativity. These are conflict resolution. I mean, I'm not going to hire you because you always fight with motion. You make chaotic my workplace. I need people who are collaborative, communicative, personally can be approached. So these are the skills. Do we teach them in here? If we don't, we are not helping them to get a job. So today you have two things in your pocket. You have to have a degree on the left. You have to have these personal skills on your right. And they must learn it together. You can't just finish one and then you go and learn personal skills too late. So that is why perhaps I'm here. I need to hire someone who can stop the problem from propagating. I needed someone who in Gulf of Mexico that stopped British petroleum disaster. But they weren't there. And they faced billions of dollars damage. So that's the reason. One of the most important things, this book is very good, written by Christopher Hayes. Critical thinking is an art. They have to learn it. Yes, part of that may be genetic, but it's like someone is so good in piano, maybe genetically, but everyone who practices piano learn how to play. It won't be Mozart, but you learn. So this has to be practice trained. And that is the reason that these days we have hackathons. Do we have hackathon here at NYCU? Hackathon? Do we know what is hackathon? Yes, no? Yeah. Do we have hackathon here?
Yeah.
Bravo. What can you explain about that, Bruce?
How is hackathon?
Yeah, no. When is how many is it for engineering, right, or everyone?
Mostly software.
Software. Yeah, that's another one. Hackathon is that people come to their world-class one from all over the world. Could be from university. Like UBC has one. I was actually the judge. So they come, group, and they give them 1 or 2 days, 48 hours. You work on a project. They don't sleep. They work like around the clock. And then they have mentors say, it's better to be this way. Just a little bit hint. Last year in the biggest one, California, a guy, a high school grade 11, got the biggest prize from Amazon, $250,000. Grade 11. They told him, son, you finish your high school, go any university in the world, we pay you, you come and work for us for 5 years. That is an investment because the boy had something that many of our graduates, they don't. Because, part of that was obviously, he was very brilliant, but we don't train them to think. They become cognitive understanding. They become critical thinker. They become creative. They become problem solvers. So this is what we need. So the answer to this question, I will hire Ray, and you are right. Engineering design, Ray's better. Technical communication, better. Engineering design, telecommunication, capstone. Ray is a more applied person. Of course, both of them are good, but Ray, get the knowledge, apply it, create outcome. Royce maybe has a very good memory or know how to ace the exams, but I will hire Ray. That's why I have a job, right? So, you know him, obviously one of the most brilliant man, IQ of 155, but not many people know that Albert Einstein was a good teacher. He was not the good student, by the way, but he was a good teacher. I want to give you some quote from Albert Einstein. You know what it says? It says, it is a miracle that curiosity survived formal education. That should be written in a golden pen. Formal education kills curiosity. You are curious? I don't need you in my class. Don't be curious. Curious would cut the cat. I teach you in this block. You look at the box. Don't get off the box. He also said, I have no special talents. I am only passionately curious. And then, last but not least, says, I never teach my students. I only try to provide a condition in which they can learn. You know, if you want to feed them like a spoon feed them, they won't digest. It's sometimes good to let them fail and learn from their failure. And that's how they learn. So, very interesting. So, I would say that replace the fear of the unknown with the curiosity. We have a couple of activities, very interesting one. We will go over that. Do you know this man? Sir Ken Robinson. He's kind of like was my mentor. He died 4 years ago. One of the most brilliant educator was ever. He was the Nikola Tesla of education. Taught 50 years, 100 years above his era. So one thing, and he has so many books, but this is one of his quotes, I love it. He says, we are educating people out of their creativity capacity. I believe it passionately that we are not grow into creativity, we grow out of it. Or rather, we get educated out of it. It's very interesting. We train our student to not to be creative. And this is everywhere, even UBC. There are some professors. This is common. Globally is common. So again, we educate them to not to be curious. And soon enough, they won't be. And then now I said that also 50 years ago or 100 years ago, the definition of literacy was if you can write your name, you are not illiterate. You know. Today, you could have a double PhD in physics and quantum mechanics, but if you are not creative, you are illiterate. So literacy now is creativity. So that's why you might have a top degree from top university. You are not trained to be creative, you won't get a job. Or maybe you get a job, but you won't hold it for too long. So these are very critical. So I want to give you, and that's one of the best books, Out of Our Mind. Means get out of your mind and be more creative. So I'm just giving you some examples. We have divergent thinking versus convergent thinking. And very of us, we teach in our lectures convergent thinking. So let me just expand on that. You see now, this is a convergent thinking. Go from A to B to C to D. This is divergent. You don't need to go. You just find your own way. Lots of games are doing this, and games are successful. You should follow the game. I have a lecture module called gamification. If games are successful because they know how to attract attention. That's what we can do in our lectures. So give another example. You see now, you made the block. You follow the steps. That's what we do in class. Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3. And that's it. But some people learn the chapter differently. I'm not saying it works for every single course, but give them this voice and choice. One of the ways that you can measure divergent thinking is you ask someone, what can you do with something? You can ask you, what do you do with this chocolate? He will say, well, I can eat it. Can you use this as a holder of maybe a phone? Maybe. Or you come up with ideas. Normal people have 4, 5, 10. Geniuses, they have maybe 100. So they did this longitude test by MIT about divergent thinking. And when I say longitude, it means that they gave it to a group of students, and then they gave it to the same group in 5 years, and the same group in another 5 years. It took 10 years. So they asked the simple question, what can I do with a paper clip? The obvious answer is, use it for connecting papers. How about I make a hook for fishing? That's another one. How about I make a necklace? Oh, that's even better. How about I make a piece of art, a statue? Ooh. How about I make a better necklace? How about I make it as a phone holder? How about? They gave this test to a group of people. They were kindergarten students, 5 to 6 years old. Do you know what was their rating of genius? When you talk about the genius in population, is 1 in every 360,000 people a genius. It's a very small population. But guess how many percent of kids in grade 0, kindergarten, they were genius? 1%? 0? Well, how many? Come on, throw a number. 1% were genius. That's still quite a bit more than, yeah. What else? Was more than 1%. How many percent? Just out of, well, second? Bravo. 96% of them, 98% ranked genius. This is the statistic, Google it. 98%, because they keep saying that, do this, do that, do this, do this. Because these are born, kids are curious. You want another example? This one. Look at that. Stupid but interesting. Another MIT. This is the school bus in Taiwan. What direction the bus goes? They gave it to MIT graduate, only 5% answered correctly. Is it going this way? Sorry for my drawing, it's a little bit off, but is it going this way or going this way? Almost every kindergarten student got the correct answer. But what was the answer? Do you see it? Can you figure it out? How? Bravo. The door is that side. So obviously, it depends on you're driving in UK or in Canada. Kids right away say, because of the door is the other side. So going, of course I know. But adults, they couldn't figure it out. You know what? Because adults, they learn to think inside the box. Why? Because they came to my class. That it was the reason. You see the point, right? Bravo. So let's start the first group activity. And I want to take it very seriously. So here is the activity. I want you really contribute. I give you this piece of paper, and here what you have. So I have a hierarchy. It's called hierarchy of learning. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 activities. I want you to rank these activities based on retention and learning. It means whatever activity is the most effective should be in the bottom. If, for example, practice doing, it doesn't have any value, it goes on the top. Higher means low value. Coming down means you have more value. I give you, let's say, 10 minutes. You discussed among your team members, and then every of this color will come up with one final answer, one ranking. I leave it here, and I have it there, so just someone, and then someone have to represent. Okay? So you know the drill, right? You got it. Now do it anyway. But there is a reason. Do you know what is the reason? Yeah, that's the $1 million question. Okay? So just try to read it and understand it. So whatever is the best goes low. Reading is good, go lowest. What do you think, Austin? You should, Anthony, Pinky, work together. You can argue, you can discuss, come up with one final outcome. Ask your professor. She has lots of experience. But contribute, everyone. Okay? If you're a student, use your own experience. It's one of the best sessions. Usually I don't offer this to students, but since you're a student, use your own personal experience. Okay? Okay? Let us start from group red. Who is the red team captain? You can change. Can you please share your finding for the rest of the people?
After we discussed
quiet guys now.
with Pinky and Austin
and Pinky,
and Anthony, we have come to a conclusion.
Yes, sir.
Audio-vision, we evaluate audio-vision is 20%.
Okay, audio-visual 20%.
And demonstration 75%.
Can you please rank it from top to the bottom?
Oh.
What is the worst, what is the best, and middle?
Okay. The worst.
Your worst is?
Lecture.
What?
Lecture.
The lecture is worse. The lecture is worse, guys. Pay attention, yeah. Okay, and the next?
The next is reading. 10%.
Reading.
Yeah.
And then?
And the next, audio-visual.
And then?
Practicing doing.
And?
Discussion.
And?
Demonstration.
And?
Teach others.
Oh, interesting. So I'm useless. I give lectures, I have to quit my job. Oh.
Not a useless.
Thanks for the assurance. Thank you. Your group, black, whomever wants. Loud and clear, same manner.
Okay, so the lowest retention rate is lecture.
Oh, I don't like it. Okay, lecture.
10% is reading, and 20 is audio-visual, 30% is demonstration, 50% is discussion, 75 is practice doing, 90% is
yeah. And as far as the number is concerned, just to clarify, the worst is 10%, the highest is 100%, but that's okay. Okay, so similar to them, more except one. I'm kind of confused why you rank teaching others so much. Can you elaborate, either of you, why teaching others so important?
Because if you teach others, it means that you already have a very good understanding of the knowledge to administrate the knowledge.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
There's one more thing, okay, while we talk. Okay, green,
yes.
Green.
Same thing.
Ah, you copycatting. No.
We have
exactly. Exactly. You cannot say exactly because I'm not going to.
Unfortunately, you have the exact.
I mean, yeah, you see? I knew. I can.
I'm just kidding.
I can catch.
Sorry.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
The most from top to down.
Highest is the lowest.
Yeah. Reading.
Reading is the worst. Thank you. I like it. I'm not the worst.
Audio-visual. Audio-visual.
Is the second worst?
Second worst. Lecture.
Third worst. Okay, I'm not the worst. Okay. Next.
Demonstration.
Demonstration.
Discussion.
Discussion.
Practice doing.
Practice doing.
Teach others.
Teach others. So, right now, statistically, everyone says teach others. Two people say the lecture is worse. One says reading. Good. Last group, yellow. Hello, yellow. Team captain, loud and clear. Lecture is worse. And then, Anna, say so loud and clear, please. Audio-visual. Next words. Next. Demonstration. Next. Reading. And then.
Discussion.
And then. And then. Teach others. So, right off the bat, every group decided that teaching others is the best. And that's correct. You know why teaching others is the best? Yeah, you have to know. But when I teach you, you ask me questions. Either I know the answer, or I realize I don't know. I thought I know, but I don't know. That's the best way of learning. If you want to know how good you are in doing something, try to teach. And when you teach, I mean, we have many professors. Some of the students ask you a question, you will say, I never thought about it. Maybe, I mean, not everyone knows everything, but that means that you are still learning. Now, the correct answer is this. And lecture is the worst. Why lecture is the worst? Why lecture is the worst?
They are not absorbing the knowledge, they just listen.
Lecture is the worst because they are not engaged, right? You just what? Maybe they don't even listen. But even the listen is only very little. Correct. Reading is better than lecture. Why? Readings, and I'm talking about formal lectures. What is the difference between reading and lecture that makes reading even better than me? $20 book better than me. Why? Two reasons.
Oh, okay.
Say again?
Active learn because I want to learn, so I buy the book to.
Imagine you have the book. Reason one, I can read anytime I want. I don't want it to come to 8 o'clock class. I want to do it at night. I'm a night owl. At 2 o'clock morning is the best time for me to read. Also learning, I can see I don't understand this. I'll go back and read. Lectures, they can't remind me. So that's next. Then audio-visual. Now you can realize that audio-visual, you have more because you see things happening. You listen, you get more engaged. There are two senses involved. And then you go further, demonstration. That's what you were asking. If I demonstrate you how to open this bottle, you might say, can you stop, please? Can you do this way? Oh, no, it doesn't work that way. Then it's more engaging. Discussion is very important because in the discussion, there will be new topics, new material, new concept comes. And you remember because someone asked something that you didn't know the answer, through the discussion of us, you learn more. And then obviously, when you practice something yourself, it means I demonstrate, you do it, and then you give it to me, I want to do it. Oh, I can't, show me again. Oh, I got it. And now I become part of you. And of course, teaching others is the best. How many of us using the most effective way in our classroom? If you ask our students to teach it others, not many, unfortunately. It's very difficult because, the one way that they do it is a project-based learning.
It's more time-consuming.
It's more time-consuming. It's more difficult to assess them. But, hey, we are here to help them to get a job. So in a group, that's the best. I'll tell them, Python? How you try to help your friends Python? And something that he knows they don't know, he can teach you. So here is what is most important. So now, I want you to watch this video. It's very interesting. And this is from this guru, Ken Robinson.
Every country on earth at the moment is reforming public education. There are two reasons for it. The first of them is economic. People are trying to work out how do we educate our children to take their place in the economies of the 21st century. How do we do that? Given that we can't anticipate what the economy will look like at the end of next week, as the recent turmoil is demonstrating.
Thank you very much.
The second, though, is cultural.
Good to see you.
Every country on earth is trying to figure out how do we educate our children so they have a sense of cultural identity and so that we can pass on the cultural genes of our communities.
Later on for the next activity, you go with them and Professor goes.
Square that circle.
Thank you.
The problem is they're trying to meet the future by doing what they did in the past. And on the way, they're alienating millions of kids who don't see any purpose in going to school. When we went to school, we were kept there with a story, which is if you worked hard and did well and got a college degree, you would have a job. Our kids don't believe that. And they're right not to, by the way. You're better having a degree than not, but it's not a guarantee anymore. And particularly not if the route to it marginalizes most of the things that you think are important about yourself. So when people say we have to raise standards as if this is a breakthrough, like really, yes, we should. designed and conceived and structured for a different age.
Wow.
It was conceived in the intellectual culture of the Enlightenment.
Enlightenment.
And in the economic circumstances of the Industrial Revolution. Before the middle of the 19th century, there were no systems of public education. Not really. I mean, you could get educated by Jesuits, you know, if you have the money. But public education, paid for from taxation, compulsory to everybody and free at the point of delivery, that was a revolutionary idea. And many people objected to it. They said it's not possible for many street kids, working class children, to benefit from public education. They're incapable of learning to read and write, and why are we spending time on this? So there's also built into it a whole series of assumptions about social structure and capacity. It was driven by an economic imperative of the time, but running right through it was an intellectual model of the mind, which was essentially the Enlightenment view of intelligence. That real intelligence consists in this capacity for a certain type of deductive reasoning and the knowledge of the classics originally, what we come to think of as academic ability. And this is deep in the gene pool of public education. There are really two types of people, academic and non-academic, smart people and non-smart people. And the consequence of that is that many brilliant people think they're not, because they've been judged against this particular view of the mind. So we have twin pillars, economic and intellectual. And my view is that this model has caused chaos in many people's lives. It's been great for some. There have been people who benefited wonderfully from it, but most people have not. Instead, they suffer this. This is the modern epidemic, and it's as misplaced, and it's as fictitious. This is the plague of ADHD.
ADHD. Or ADD.
Now, this is a map of the incidence of ADHD in America, or prescriptions for ADHD. Don't mistake me here. I don't mean to say there is no such thing as attention deficit disorder. I'm not qualified to say there is such a thing. I know that a great majority of psychologists and pediatricians think there is such a thing. But it's still a matter of debate. What I do know for a fact is it's not an epidemic. These kids are being medicated as routinely as we had our tonsils taken out. And on the same whimsical basis, and for the same reason, medical fashion. Our children are living in the most intensely stimulating period in the history of the earth. They're being besieged with information and calls to their attention from every platform, computers, from iPhones, from...
So now here is interesting.
Sensitizing them. And I think we should be doing the exact opposite. We shouldn't be putting them asleep. We should be waking them up to what they have inside of themselves. But the model we have is this. I believe we have a system of education that is modeled on the interests of industrialism and in the image of it. I'll give you a couple of examples. Schools are still pretty much organized on factory lines, ringing bells, separate facilities, specialized
Same time.
subjects. We still educate children by batches.
Age.
You know, we put them through the system by age group. Why do we do that? You know, why is there this assumption that the most important thing kids have in common is how old they are? You know, it's like the most important thing about them is their date of manufacture. Well, I know kids who are much better than other kids of the same age in different disciplines, you know, or at different times of the day, or better in small groups than in large groups, or sometimes they want to be on their own. If you're interested in the model of learning, you don't start from this production line mentality. It's essentially about conformity, and increasingly it's about that as you look at the growth of standardized testing and standardized curricula. And it's about standardization. I believe we've got to go in the exact opposite direction. That's what I mean about changing the paradigm.
So I'm not just want to highlight a few things I mentioned here. So there is a disorder called HAD, or attention deficit disorder, or attention hyper deficit disorder. It exists. Students don't pay attention. We know that. But I have an argument. My argument is, they come to my class. In fact, these days, this is the history. In 2000, the attention span is 12 seconds. If they don't do something that is not attractive in 12, if you be quiet in 12 seconds, they do something else. Then become 8 seconds. You know what is the attention span of a goldfish? Is 9 seconds. Jerry, if you have a goldfish, you tap the ball for 9 seconds, look like this, and then after go. So be dealing with the kids that they have the attention span of 8 seconds. They come to my class, they don't pay attention. But wait a minute. Why the same students play 4 hours straight games, computer games? You must know computer games is different. Absolutely, there is no difference. Computer games, they need the same skills that you need in a class. They need to pay attention. They need to learn. They need to experience and use their experience to become the next level. But why games are attractive? Well, I can give you, this whole module called gamification, but few attributes. Games are not boring. I am boring. Games are not linear. It means you have to do this. From here, this, this, this. Games give them option. You're going to go that road or this road. Both could be successful, but one of them is better. They make their own mistake and they own their mistake. Games are rewarding. It means, in my class, this is the reward. You come to every lecture, you pass all the assignments, you pass the midterm, you pass the final, you pass the course. Have you seen a game? It says that you play for 10 days straight, you're winning or losing. No. Games that have, rewards every step. So you get the sword, you get the shield, you get the goodies, and you collect and makes you feel better. So why we are not using the same sets of skills? So here is what's happening to our students. As the technology grows, their attention become dissipated, the retention become less. And I don't blame them fully if they're doing this in my class, or even worse, doing this. Because they have been totally, their brain would be bombarded by all these social medias and activities. Let me give an example. Today, a 6-year-old kid make as many decisions as an adult in 1960. I have a 6 years old. Wake up the morning. First question mom asks, what would you like for breakfast? You want cereal? You want waffle? You want pancake? Cereal. What kind of cereal? Lucky Charm. What kind of milk you want? Chocolate or plain? Plain. How many percent? You ask all these questions you think is good, but you are adding load. When I was a child, my mom gave me 2 options. What would you like for breakfast? Peanut butter sandwich or go hungry? And it was a easy choice. I never think peanut butter sandwich. So that is what's happening to our children. They get this attitude to come to the elementary, middle school, and high school. And then they dealt with us boring people. So we are in the age of information avalanche. So this is true. This was the history. Human knowledge doubled periodically. It used to be 150 years, 50 years, 10 years, 5 years. Today is every 73 days. Human knowledge from day one until that moment in 73 days double. In a sense, by the time I start the lecture, the whole term, to the end, it's totally, maybe it's different. And now we got stuck to the same 19th or 18th century's style of teaching. And that is bad. So, $1 million question. How can I improve? It's not my fault. I'm just a professor. I can't fix things from day one. Well, you can use some Band-Aids. So there are some solutions. Project-based learning is the best. And I really advocate for that. We talk about it. Flipping classroom. For small classes, flipping classroom is the best. If you're familiar with the concept, in a flipped classroom, you provide the knowledge that they need ahead of a time to the class by YouTube, videos, whatever, and then they come to the class and then they form groups and discuss. And you, as a professor, you are not delivering, you are facilitating. Same thing that the mentor in a hackathon does. Learn from each other. Some groups are behind, you spend more time with them. Some groups are ahead of time say, oh, you're doing good. How about you do something better? So it means that not one all or cookie cutter style. Gamification. I have tons of things to do. Like I gamify my students in many ways. Do I have that? I have my own currency called Raybucks. You know, I actually printed them. This is in a dollar paper. I got the paper legally. And they answer the questions. They get the Raybucks. But I have different denominations too. And then I usually give $1 or $2. And then if they collect $10, they get a golden buzzer Raybucks, $10. Every $2 is 1 mark. It means nothing. But they die for this. They come to a class to get it. And at the end, when they get enough dollar, when the final exam they come, I say, Raybucks, Raybucks. They say, I don't need your Ray. Just sign here. Some of them, they actually, whatever, I don't think, they frame it. But it's the game mind, the way that the mind works. I trick it the exact same way. So it works. It does work. Other method, makerspace. So I'm not going to go through that. We don't have time. It's coming from Stanford University in 2011, and now in the world, everyone, like, you know, makerspace is a continuation of applying what they learn. They come to my class, they learn the skills, they finish the project, they pass or fail or whatever. But what about the skill? That they use the skill to build something, whatever they want. They make something for their car or their, you know, the bicycle, or they become innovative. They need a place to go. Nobody asks them, what is it? They ask them, as long as it's not gone or something, they ask, do you know how to use that? No, I train you. You know that? Use it. That's the continuation of learning. This is a part. I'm not going to go to this one here. You know, it's blended learning as well. So there are 2 parts. One in a class, I use this one too. I usually, when I teach that program or software, I have all my lectures online. They have to do it beforehand. They come to my class, they already know. And first lecture, I go so fast, all behind. I said, did you watch it? No, watch it next time. They're all going to watch it, and then they're all going to be ahead of a game. So they do pre-lectures, lectures, and then they really want something more advanced, post-lecture. So post-lecture is not mandatory, but pre-lecture is mandatory. Flexible learning. There are many, many methods. Now I'm going to go one example and one activity, and then we switch into the next. And please don't go anywhere. You're going to have lots of fun after this. Again, I'm going to give you a metaphor. The metaphor of going to restaurant or cook at home. We always do that, right? Why do we go to restaurant, by the way? What is the reason to go to restaurant? Let me give some reasons. It's convenient. You don't want to wash dishes. You don't want to do nothing. You don't want to cook. You go to restaurant. Hopefully the food is better in a restaurant, unless you're a world-class chef. Service is good. Someone comes and, what would you like? Okay, okay. Oh, I give you glasses. You know, you don't need to walk or do anything. It's a pleasant atmosphere, right? You meet someone, you talk, you know, it's good. It's very interactive. You have the interactions. Why you cook at home? Well, I cook at home because I have no restriction that time and place. I want to eat in the bedroom. I want to eat in my living room. I want to make it. This is good. Freedom. Next, it's going to be cheaper. Education costs a lot. I have more options too. In a restaurant, you have certain foods. In my home, I can make different foods. It's more comfortable too. I don't need to sit in a chair in a restaurant. I'm going to lie down and relax. Freedom of the pace. In a restaurant, you go, you order, you eat. You cannot stay 4 hours in a restaurant. But when I cook, I just have some food, go put it in the microwave, come back. Now I'm going to go back comparing these two. Of course, eating in a restaurant is coming to my lecture. Dining at home is learning at home. So now, pretty much the same. So now here is, attending the lecture is more convenient because I gave them, all this prepared food already. They had the food. They come to lecture because I organize it. Therefore, hopefully I have to make it in the right organization. Otherwise, they go and cook at home. They read the same book at home. If we saw that, the lecture is useless if I just do, okay, I read a book and write down. It's useless. I can present the context in a more presentable way. I can add audio-visual. Wow, that's good. I can also add demonstration to my lecture. It's very good. Even better, I can tell them, okay, now, guys, everyone talk to the guy next. Teaches others how to do it. So you can have this in a lecture. Of course, because the professor is knowledgeable, professor is good. And in-class activities, most important is the discussion. You discussed why do this, what is not good. So, and of course, the atmosphere is good, it's collaborative learning. Why I study at home? Well, flexible schedule, that's all. I don't have to go a place at a certain time. Accessibility. I can use internet. I don't understand it. Talk to my friends. I don't understand it. Use AI. I don't understand it. I have more accessible ways of retrieving my information. More available sources. Multitasking. Some people, they like to watch a movie, and I'm not saying it's good or bad, but that's how the brain works. And freedom of the pace. Don't understand that? Let's take a break. You'll play some games and come back. So now if you want to be a good professor doing that, so you have to try to convince them it's worth it for them to come to your class. If you can't do it, unfortunately you are not cooking, you are not a good chef, your restaurant is not going to be working really well. Now I want you to spend maybe 1 or 2 minutes, we don't have much time, and you tell yourself or ask your colleagues why students come to my lectures rather than they stay home, and assuming you provide everything, even the lecture notes and everything else, you provide it online. Why do they come to your lecture? I want you to come up with maybe 2 or 3 reasons that they should come to your lecture. They gain something that they cannot get it even by watching or looking at your lecture notes. I give you maybe about 2 minutes because we don't have much time, and then we move on, okay? Please. So why they come to my lecture? Why they come to my restaurant, in a sense? Why they don't study at home, assuming I provide the same amount of material, okay? Don't worry about that, forget about those. Just answer the question I ask, you know the question, right? Do you know the question?
Why the students can do it?
What is the benefit? What do I offer them above and beyond the material I provide? Why do they come at 8 o'clock to my lecture? Why they should not say, I don't care about him. I'm going to get the same material from the online anyway. Okay, I need to know that. Okay, yes, we talk. Yellow group, you are a lecturer, and why are you expecting students come above and beyond what they can get from you or your own lecture notes? Give me a couple of reasons.
The lecture can provide a better atmosphere.
What do you mean atmosphere? We talk about it. What do you mean atmosphere?
Like more students were learning the same subject, so they have like more motivation.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. No. When you're coming all together, like yeah, that's following everyone else. Okay. That could be. What else? What else?
Like there's a restricted time span.
That's bad. That's not good. That's bad. Restricted time is bad. Yeah. Oh, I see. So you can schedule it based on the restricted time. It's not just, it's a schedule. Your schedule is at 8 to 10, I learn material science. 10 to 12, yeah. Okay, good. Anything else? Fast and quick, guys. We need to have time. Okay, anything else, sir, please?
And like different questions that we didn't think about others.
That's one. Very good. So he's asking that. You sit down here, and he asks a very good question from professor. You never thought about it. But that, oh, I knew. If I watch TV or online, I would never bring that question. So that question is a key part. Very good. That's called discussion. Okay? Green group. Go green, go green. What else beside what they said?
You can choose the interesting topic to learn.
No, well, I mean, you take your course. You know, the course is whatever, material science. You already chosen. But you have one choice, two choices. Come to my lecture or do it at home. But why you come? Why you as a professor convincing me, Ray, come to my lecture? I am not convinced. What do you think?
You can quickly to get an introduction of this subject in a short time.
Okay, that's one. I like that. So sometimes for me it's harder to get what I need, but professor have it in a very perfect presentation.
Yeah, right.
Is that correct? And then you are professor, a good cook. The way you present it, it's very different than the one that is there. What else? What else?
The teacher will provide more resources.
Sorry? Yes. More accessibility, correct. Okay, the other group?
So
Pinky? Yeah.
I think we also have the similar with the yellow group. The first reason is when we attend the lecture, we can ask some questions that we want.
That's very, very important. Questions, because you never thought about it. But he guys ask question. His question make me, in a sense, teaching others. What else?
Yeah, and the second reason is we can make friends with classmates, and they may come from different culture
I like
backgrounds, and then from that we can establish social relationships. Then we can
Teaching others.
Yeah.
See now, again, teaching others. You make friends, you become friends. You teach Stephanie, Stephanie teaches you, and that's better. But I have to provide that environment. Okay? If you ask me, I will say that these are my reasons, and this is what I promote. I customize my lectures in a way, because I taught it, that is more digestible. I bring the food in a way, like a first salad, then soup, I know they can digest. By themselves is hard. Breadth versus the depth. I give them insight that they can't learn by themselves. And this can be done, obviously, by a better presentation. Also, I provide a more in-depth problems. I go over the problems. But this is the most important. They can't do it online. I always add personal experience. That's why the AI is not going to replace me, because of that factor. You know, you get connected to them because of you are human. So you have your own experience, teaching experience, industry, research. This is one thing you can do. And last but not least, I love it, discussion. You all said that. In the discussion, even though it's not your problem or question, but you learn. But you also have to motivate them. That's what I do. One more thing also. And discussion that's a good, I may ask in an exam. Exam, write down. You make them motivated. Of course, Ray Box is also important. You gamify it. So I want to have this as the end of this module, and we have no time. We have to right away go there, no break. You see, a student don't care how much I know. I could be a Nobel Prize winner. They don't care unless they know how much I care. A student don't care how much I know unless they know how much I care for them. I had more than one occasion. Student came to my office, failed the course, almost cried. And I said, listen, I'm not going to give you a mark. I said, no. I don't want a mark. I failed the course. I'm so upset that I failed your course. I feel that I turned you down because you care about me so much. I came to your office. You gave me extra tutorial. I just feel bad. I don't care I fail other courses. This makes me feel good. It may make me feel bad he or she failed. But in a sense, a student will care. So you show how you care about them. They sometimes study because they want to make you happy. That's the beautiful concept. You put them in a position that they go extra mile because of you, because they don't want to lose their face in front of you. Hey, for me, it doesn't matter. If they pass the course and study for me, wrong reason, still right outcome. So anyway, and I know you guys is weekends and you're going and I'm leaving tomorrow, but the next is very dynamic. So we have only 3 groups. How many of you can stay until 6? 5:30? Can we do 5:30? 5:30? Can we do it? 6. Let's do it 5:30, okay? We're going to have good activity. Well, based on the whole schedule, it's 5:30.